Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're in Awayuki chapter 3, The Moon on a Rainy Night. It is Illusion of Itehari tonight because they got ambushed in the alley and I want to play this game. So I need to figure out what is happening here. Cliffhangers, they get the best of me. Alright, so I hope this one's not an hour and a half long like the last one was. I'm not going to be able to edit it tonight anyway, just because it's 11 o'clock when I started, but I've been so tired. I've only been getting 5 hours of sleep, and I'm really tired right now. And I want to go to bed. Oh, well, I say go to bed early. It's not going to be early because I'm recording, but I'm looking forward to getting to bed because tomorrow the Lone Deep Space idol banner drops, and I need all of them, and I need to do lots of DoorDash tomorrow too, so I can get some more money for it. By the way, I started uploading Love and Deep Space. Well, I say started. I've uploaded one Love and Deep Space video, and I'm going to be uploading all of the current banner as well. So if you like that game, you can check out those videos as well. Anyway. Back to Illusions of Itehari. The men who surrounded us clearly didn't appear to be welcoming of our presence.
Hime, ここは俺が何とかする.
Awayuki's voice was stiff as he spoke to me.
お前は何も心配しなくていい。というか、おとなしくしててくれ。
Just behave? Dang it. I closed all of my tabs and I didn't open this one back up. History is not going to bring it up. I'm going to have to Google it. My history... I only closed it like a few days ago. Or maybe not a few days ago, like yesterday or the day before. But my history tab has been full of Love and Deep Space reaction trailers because I watched all of them. I've been going crazy with this one. I love the Idols one so much. I love Idols in general. When Uta no Prince-sama gets published in Western, I will be playing Uta no Prince-sama because of Idols. Anyways, how do you spell your name? Awa. Chapter 3. I will leave it to you. First we're going to say I will talk to them. I told you to behave. I want to talk to these people. I can at least do that much, can't I? I would think that fell under the category of behaving.
お前な。
I mean, they're ambushing you. I wouldn't want you talking to them either. Awayuki didn't even bother trying to hide the grimace on his face. That said, I couldn't rely on Awayuki all the time. As his mistress, I couldn't stay hiding behind him forever. I took a step forward and directly addressed the men surrounding us. What do you want from us? Do you know about this, Yorinui? But they didn't reply to my question. Get him. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna go up now. I'm sure that's the end of it. I might have to turn down the sound. I turned it up a little bit because I was noticing in my recordings that it wasn't coming through at all, so I turned it up just a little bit so we can hear them. We will leave it to you, Awayuki. Alright, I'll leave everything to you. I gave a small nod to Awayuki, who looked relieved and responded with a smile.
ああ。必ずご期待に添えます。
My attendant's pretty cool, isn't he? My unease quickly dissipated as I saw him stand confidently before me. Nope, they're not having it. With the men's signal, the others rushed towards us with raised fists. Committing an act of violence against another, especially injured and noble, could cause someone to get spirited away. And yet, why? Was I really living in a peaceful world? Surprise came to me faster than fear in response to the men's act to harm us. I'm gonna leave the music where it is. We don't get action music very often, so it's gonna go back to quiet right after this, so... Awayuki, get back. Returning to my senses, my body moved on its own, attempting to protect my attendant. But my hand didn't even reach Awayuki. He is skilled. As he kicked off the ground, he had a silver blade held in his hand I hadn't even noticed earlier. Awayuki easily knocked away all the small blades the man chaotically swung about, kicking one with all of his weight. The fairly well-built man was easily sent flying. There is action in this game. I love it so much. In flowing motions, Awayuki threw some kunai at another man, sticking him to a wall of the alley. Dang. What are you? I know, right? Awayuki, he's showing us a side that we've never seen. He's skilled at knives and kunai. An uneasiness ran through the men after seeing a few of their comrades dispatched in a matter of mere seconds. Was Awayuki always this strong? I realized that Awayuki was the one who had taken control of the situation. I, as well as the men who attacked us, were completely overtaken by his presence. I just wondered how many weapons he had hidden on his slender frame. He's full of surprises. It seemed like he wasn't even exerting himself at all as he took out the kunai, subduing more men of their blades and his precise throws. I want to just take a moment to say something. He said he was accusing of Yashiro of having weapons, that people don't normally have weapons. He probably has them to protect her, for self-defense. But he said that people aren't usually trained in weapons unless you are a member of I forget his name. The Taijo. If you're a member of the Taijo's men, a group of elite men, people just don't have training in weapons, but he has training. Who are you? Are you from the surface too? Then I said run away. They must have realized they couldn't win. The men with hidden faces disappeared as quickly as they arrived. Yeah, but who are they? And why are they defending or attacking them because they're searching something?
Hinagiku, 怪我はないか?
No. In the end, the men couldn't even get close enough to touch me. Awayuki watched me as I nodded back to him, shaking. His face stiffened.
怖かったか?
In response to his question, I said, a little, not in the least. I wasn't afraid in the least. I knew you would protect me, Awayuki.
いや、さすがにそれはどうなんだ? もうちょっと危機感を持て。
Awayuki gave a tired smile as he playfully chucked me under the chin. Oh, what does that mean, chuck? I did understand it was a seriously dangerous situation, but I think Awayuki would feel anxious if I were afraid. In that case, it was much better for him to think that I was fearless. Really. Just then.
顔で選んだのかと思いきや、随分優秀な従者じゃねえか。
Oh my goodness, it's the other love interest. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the top. I mentioned him in the first chapter, or not the first chapter, first episode, the prologue, right? When they were looking into the entertainment district, he was there, and I was like, red letters, who is that? I don't know his name anymore, but I know he's a love interest. Okay, we were a little scared. A little. I was mostly afraid that you might get hurt. Aww. Awayuki?
いや、そうじゃなくて、俺が
Seeing him at a loss for words is so cute.
お前の目の前で人を傷つけたから。
You think she's afraid of you? Well, thought back to how I felt as I watched Awayuki fight off the men. I didn't think about that at all. I was surprised by how strong you were, Awayuki, that's all. You must have been fairly worried that I was afraid of him now.
そうか。
But Awayuki looked relieved, nodding as he breathed a deep sigh. Just then.
顔で選んだのかと思いきや、随分優秀な従者じゃねえか。
What does he mean by chose him? I thought you chose him for his looks. Is he referring to when they were children, when they found him? Or is there a Japanese innuendo that I'm missing here because I don't know Japanese? Or that is translated like that for a reason? The voice came out of nowhere. Awayuki looked up at the sky and I followed suit. To moment, give us the CG. Who is it? Oh, not CG. He's gonna have his face covered. I saw a figure on a rooftop. Was he watching from there this whole time? With light movements, he jumped down from the roof, landing right in front of us. A black cloak and a mask of a kitsune. The kitsune or the kitsune? Even though his face was hidden, I knew he wasn't any ordinary person from the overwhelming aura he produced as he stood there.
お前、何者だ？暴力沙汰にこれほど抵抗がない人間は、この町じゃ稀だ。
You know, right? You just got all in Yashida's business about this. His eyes pointed to Awayuki under the mask, looking him over as he spoke. Tell us.
そう警戒すんなよ。別に、納得できる答えを求めて聞いたわけじゃね
え。Dang it, who are you? I need to know your name. Your name. Tobari. He's gonna be second. Tobari. Okay.
それはそれとして、顔貸してくれるか。お前らにあちこち嗅ぎ回られると、迷惑なんでな。
そんな要求が通ると思うか。さっきの男たち、お前の手下だろ。
Awayuki spoke, trying to lead the man into divulging more information, who replied as if he were enjoying himself at the moment.
多少荒っぽいやり方だったとは思うが、物事には順序ってもんがある。
Oh, are you the leader of the... Dang it, I forgot its name already.
貴族様には悪いが、まずは俺たち下々の者と同じ席についてもらわなければ対話もできねえだろ。
Proper dialogue.
暴力を使って無理やり席につかせて対話？何様のつもりだ？
そんな無法者に応じる気はないか？
そうだと言えば。
さて、どうしようか。
The man seemed unfazed by Awayuki's defiance. I couldn't see the stranger's expression hidden under the kitsune mask, but Awayuki looked back at him and, as if to tear through the short silence... Oh. He's just going to attack him. Awayuki closed in on the man crouching close to the ground. The man quickly pulled out a weapon I recognized from my studies, a gun. Oh my goodness. I read that it was a weapon used throughout wars between foreign countries, but this was the first time I saw one in person. Two-Way currently operates on an isolationist policy with little to no involvement with the other countries that exist outside of it. Oh my goodness, be careful. The bullet that launched from it was so quick that I couldn't even see it. Awayuki's movement stopped with a sharp noise of clashing metal. There was no ominous stains anywhere on his white attire. It's good.
弾き落としたのか？銃弾を？
Did he really block the bullet? The man's voice was mixed with both annoyance and amusement.
惜しいよな。お前、平民だろ？跳ねっ返りの主人を持って苦労してんじゃねえか？
Troublemaker? Where do you get off calling me?
いや、逆に聞くけどな。てめえの足でわざわざ橋町まで来て、知らぬいの話を聞きたがる姫さんのどこがしとやかなんだよ。
I can't argue against that.
何が言いたい？
Awayuki gave a small sigh. The stranger, with his composure now regained, continued to address him.
勧誘してんだよ。そっちの姫さんはともかく、お前は俺たちとそう変わらねえ立場。
Not any different position. There's more secrets to Awayuki's past. Awayuki's like, heck no. Before the man could finish speaking, Awayuki leapt from the ground again and closed in on him faster than earlier. Responding quickly and in kind, the man twisted his body as the kunai that Awayuki launched flashed with light. I saw a few strands of the man's sandy hair fall dancing in the air. At the same time, the sharp white blades flung by the man's kitsune mask into the air. I was gonna say, it's gonna drop the mask. We're gonna see his face. The mask dropped, cluttering to the ground, battering. What was most striking about the man's grim expression was now clearly exposed, where his green eyes were the color of pine. Maybe he's not a love interest. I don't see him on here. Hold on. Where's it at? Okay, yeah, he's a love interest. I couldn't find him in the picture here because his clothes was covered, and so I saw was his face, and he's got this way different expression on his face. So, okay, I found him.
お前、花町の顔役か。名は確か。帳だったよな。
I'm like, I'm gonna have a lot of cutting out to do if he's not a love interest. I'm like, I think so, not so much.
仕方ねえな。
All emotion suddenly vanished from his expression. The air around him grew tense as if he was done simply testing Awayuki's strength. I'm sorry we didn't get some fancy CG with him like everyone else. Wait. I shouted with fear at what was to come. Oh? Was it your goal to have a talk with us? Suppressing my panic, I spoke as calmly as I could manage. I can at least listen to what you have to say, but only under the condition that you stop setting our city's residents on fire.
Huh?
Huh? After Tabari fell silent for a few seconds with a puzzled look on his face, he gazed at me again with caution in his eyes.
なるほど。姫さんがその気なら応じてやってもいい。
You just surprised everyone with the fact that I know who you are. You're setting fires to our citizens. Okay. As he spoke, he slowly lowered his gun.
そっちの疑問にも答えてやる。だが、代わりに俺がした話を他に漏らさないと約束しろ。
Huh?
それができねえなら、交渉は決裂だ。俺は力ずくでお前らの口を塞ぐ。
He's going to be an interesting character to go down, isn't he? Conditions weren't something to agree to lightly. But it also didn't seem right to respond carelessly to just get through this current predicament. Just then, Awayuki began to speak as if he understood what I was thinking.
話も聞かずに約束できることはない。
He must have noticed that I was feeling panicked, but as he looked at me, he explained our situation to put me at ease.
姫、今有利なのは俺たちの方だ。こちらは正当防衛。向こうは未遂とはいえ姫に、貴族に暴力を振るおうとした。わざわざ対話に乗ってやる必要があるか？花町の顔役が白縫いを率いていた、と黒鶴に知らせて、後の処理は任せればいい。
That may be true, but Bari, who had stayed silent as he listened to our conversation, let out a deep sigh.
わかった。確かに、今の俺はそっちに条件をつけられる立場じゃなかったな。黒鶴に伝えるかどうかは、こっちの話を聞いてから判断してもらって構わない。
Are you sure? I was a bit surprised by how easily he conceded.
どうせ最初から無理な条件をつけてるって自覚はあったんだろう。姫が何も考えずにうなずいたらラッキーくらいに思われてたんだと思うぞ。
Bri looked away, pretending that that wasn't the case. He didn't verbally deny it outright, but I felt his attitude essentially admit it was true.
どうする？ひなぎく。
Awayuki asked for my opinion, and I responded. Alright, let's hear him out. What do you think? What do you think, Awayuki?
それはお前が判断することだ。どうあろうと、俺は従う。
I thought things over, and after pondering for a moment, then would you share with us what you have to say?
ああ。
I was gonna say, I thought he was Yang. His voice is so deep. I'm like, it sounds a little bit familiar, but I'm not gonna say anything. I look back over to my screen. Yeah, Tabari's Yang. My favorite character from Pure Fury. Tabari nodded in agreement, and after seeing him do so, Awayuki put away the kunai as well.
まずは場所を移すか。誰に聞かれるかもしれねえ路地で立ち話なんてわけにはいかねえだろ。
Right, then. Right, I'm gonna go back up now. No. I'm gonna go.
で、
俺の家に連れてきたってわけ？
I know, right? So you brought him here? Right. Alright, let's hear him out. Tabari, right? I'd like you to share what you have to tell us. That's fine with you too, right, Awayuki?
仰せのままに、姫。
Awayuki nodded and put away his kunai. Watching him as he did, Tabari furrowed his brow and muttered,
こんな恐ろしい男をよく御してるな。
Dreadful man. Oh my goodness. What do you mean?
いや何感心したってことだ。
Everyone knows about Awayuki except for us.
まずは場所を移すか。誰に聞かれるかもしれねえ路地で立花。
Yes, I know. Let's go.
んで、俺の家に連れてきたってわけ？
Tsuyakusa is not amused. Although he welcomed us into the Hanagetsudu, Tsukuse's face twisted in pain as if he had a headache. And besides Tsuyakusa, Yoshida looked on with interest at their guest, Tabari. Sorry about all of this. I did consider having the talk at my place,
花
but
町の顔役がうちに出入りするのはあまりいいことじゃない。誰かに見られてもしたら面倒なことになる。
there you go. After nodding in support at my explanation, Awayuki continued to push our case.
お前は知らないだろうが、帳はこの町じゃそれなりに顔が売れてる男だ。
You noticed who he was just by looking at him, Awayuki. I did know that the delegate of the entertainment district was the one case where someone who wasn't a noble was allowed into the Ryue. I've heard rumors about him, but I didn't know he was so young. So he's a member of the Ryue? Is that what I'm getting? Like, this story is so confusing to me. There's so many names and there's so many things in the city. He's the delegate of the entertainment district, and he's not a noble, and he's in the Ryue. Okay. As I muttered, Yashiro nodded with a smile.
うん、俺も驚いた。
ま、あんたが花町に詳しくないのは当然だよね。行く必要ないとこだし。
そりゃあな、普通に考えて貴族の姫さんが足を運ぶような場所じゃない。だが来てたよな、姫さん。
Oh, he's addressing her formally now. Oh. It was true. There was one time when Yori told us to ask around in the entertainment district. You saw us.
ああ、花町の男氏から貴族の姫さんが話を聞いて回ってるって知らせがあった。それでなくても、俺の顔役の耳には花町の情報は大体入ってくるようになってる。
Does that mean? I had a sudden realization. Yori understood that Tabari was aware of our actions. Oh, is he? If he asked us to go to the entertainment district while knowing that... I glanced at Awayuki, who had a stern look on his face. We'll talk about this with Awayuki later. Yeah, I'm not getting it. Maybe it's because it's been 3 weeks since that episode, I don't know. Letting go of the thought, I looked at Tabari to see him sitting relaxed and seemingly unfazed. Even though he was surrounded by people of the Hanagetsudu, none of them were allies to him.
まずそっちの白い兄さん、淡雪だったか。うちの連中を見逃してくれたこと、殺さずに済ませてくれたことに礼を言う。
お前の出方次第ではまだどうなるかわからないが。
その時はその時だ。諦めるさ。
Although that was what he said, Tabari's expression didn't look like that of someone who was ready to give up.
まず白縫いを率いてるのは俺だ。狩猟だのと呼ばれてる。で、近頃伊手張りで起きてるつけ火は俺たち白縫いの所業だった。
I gasped at his sudden confession. All of those fires that happened were because of him. Because of them. Didn't you just accuse him of this?
だが、例の人が突然燃えるって件には一切関わってねえ。俺たちも正直、迷惑してる。
Okay, so he's causing fires, but he's not causing fires to people. Okay. What? Really?
なら、どうしてうちの姫を狙った？
そりゃ、後ろ暗いところがあるからだ。知らぬいのことを探りに来た貴族なんて警戒して当然だろう。と言っても、様子を見る限り好奇心や物珍しさでうろついてるようにしか見えなくてな。
So you attacked her out because of simple curiosity.
軽く脅しつけて黙らせればいいかと思ったんだが。
Gently intimidate her. It could have been the case if they intended not to hurt us from the beginning. Yashiro calmly asked a question.
君たちは大樹様に不満があるから、伊手張りの町に火をつけているのかな。
まあ、間違ってはいねえな。俺たちが火付けをする理由は、大樹が伊手張りを守れていないって状況を町の人間に見せるためだ。
Isn't capable? Itehari had always been guarded by the great Taiju's divine protection. Not knowing what point he was trying to make, I found myself confused in trying to figure out what he was trying to say.
考えてもみろよ。俺たちみたいな組織がのさばってる時点でおかしいだろ。姫さんがどう思ってるにしろ、大樹の目は伊手張りの端まで行き届いてねえんだよ。
You might be right about that.
守られていない人間がいるんだと声を上げなければ状況は変わらねえ。取りこぼされた連中の存在は知られず、弱い者はいつまでも踏みつけにされる。
Although I was a bit hesitant, I carefully chose my words and posed a question. Are there people who are giving you trouble?
ああ。花町は差別と暴力にさらされてる。伊手張りの秩序を守るために存在するはずの黒鶴も味方になるどころか。連中、特に貴族の士官どもは花町の人間をてめえと同じものだとは思ってねえ。
Awayuki, who closed his eyes with a grim look on his face, began to mutter as if he had witnessed something similar.
否定できないところはあるな。分け隔てなく対応する士官の方が珍しい。
連中は何かあればすぐに暴力を振るう。下々の者は気に食わなければ殴っていいと当たり前に思ってるわけだ。もちろん花町は貴族に逆らえねえ。下手すりゃその場で手打ちにされる。俺がその場にいればできることもあるだろうが、限りがある。それに問題を起こす貴族を片っ端から出禁にすれば商いが立ち行かなくなるしな。
What Tabari shared was also disturbing to me. I had a vague suspicion that there were some nobles who acted arrogantly towards commoners, but I never thought. As I sat there at a loss for words, Tsuyakusa spoke up with a cloudy expression on his face.
黒鶴が強引な操作をしたり、疑いを向けた住民に暴力を振るうこともあるなんてのは、もう公然の秘密っていうか。だから黒鶴は嫌われてるわけ。
I see. There have been cases where the Kuruzuru pushed to get their way by claiming it was their duty who acted rudely even towards nobles. I can think of a certain someone. I had wondered if their aggressive nature was to be expected from an organization that upheld order throughout Itehari.
特に花町の座敷は閉鎖された空間だから、余計好き勝手にできるのかもね。仮に事件になっても、花町の人間より貴族の証言の方が信用されて、うやむやになる。 帳の言い方だと、俺たちが思うよりもっと良くない話もありそうだ。
In response to Yashido nodding and understanding, the corner of Tabari's mouth twisted into a cynical grin.
姫さんの前で話すような内容じゃねえよ。
I gripped my hands into fists on top of my thighs, then looked at Tabari again. After listening to what you have to say, I see that there is much we didn't know. I couldn't agree with their ambition to defy the great Taiju or their methods in doing so. I was sure there were many in Itehari that would feel the same as I did. But even so, for those of status to commit such acts of violence, I can't forgive that, nor should it be forgiven.
誰もが姫さんみたいに思うわけじゃねえ。
I felt just a bit of kindness in Tabari's voice as he spoke to me.
貴族なら、持たざる者を差別して当然だと信じてる奴も多いだろ。俺たちの現状を変えるために味方を増やしたい。そのためにはまず、こうして知ってもらわなくちゃならねえ。
そのための火付けか。
ああ。
Tabari curtly replied with a troubled smile.
なのに、例の人体発火事件。あれが巷でなんて言われてるか知っているか。
大樹様による天罰だっけ？
ああ、理屈がわからねえのは大樹の力で引き起こされたことだからってな。あの不可解な事件のせいで、かえって大樹への信奉が強まる結果になっちまってる。しかも、燃えた奴の中には、白縫いの協力者も多く含まれている。
That's right. I heard such a rumor from people around the city.
うちにとっては、これだけでも大打撃なんだよ。
そう聞くと、確かに白縫いが自分からこんな事件を起こす必要はない気がするね。
Right. I was of the same opinion as Yashiro. After letting out a small sigh, Tsuyakusa gave his own opinion.
ま、俺も筋が通ってるように聞こえたけどさ。白縫は反大樹組織。今の手張りの現状に不満があるってことは、当然現在の特権階級、貴族のことも気に食わないってことじゃん。
I thought back the looks of the Shiranui members who attacked us. Although there were misunderstandings, I did feel a malice towards us. But after shaking his head, Tabari rejected Tsuyakusa's claim.
別に今朝まで憎いわけじゃねえよ。俺たちを害する人間から自衛したいだけだ。
After a sudden short silence, the one who spoke again was Yashiro.
帳たちも事件には迷惑していて、俺たちも真相を探ろうとしている。それなら、白縫いのことを黙っている代わりに、帳にも手を貸してもらうのはどうかな。
You mean in gathering information? The place where information would gather the most would be the entertainment district. If we received help from Tabari, who understood most of the situation already, that might help us get information of much greater value than us continuing to ask around.
ま、むやみに敵に回すより、うまく利用した方がいいかもね。
I know, right? I felt nervous, feeling that his wording was a bit rude, but Tabari didn't seem to mind. After a moment of silence, thinking over the matter, he responded in a voice that showed no sign of hesitation.
俺が白縫いの資料だってことくらい黒鶴に伝えてもらおうと構わねえ。どうせ証拠もないしな。だが、姫さんを襲った件は伏せてくれ。伝えられると黒鶴に捕まる。それは俺の損だ。
After his disclaimer, he gave a faint smile.
見逃してくれるなら、例の件が片付くまでお前らの耳になってやる。その間、俺たちは火付けもやめる。 まあ、すでに辞めてるんだがな。
Really?
火を放っても、それが大樹の力だなんだって言われるようじゃ、本来の目的と乖離する。
That's true. I nodded in understanding.
姫。
At the break in the conversation, Awayuki looked at me. The look he gave me told me that he would be leaving the final decision to me. Yes. After letting out a deep breath, I looked directly at Tabari. Tabari, until these incidents are resolved, I want you to lend us your help.
願ったりだ。よろしくな、姫さん。
Tabari stuck out his hand as he spoke. I realized what he was asking for, and I held out my own hand, but before I could take Tabari's hand, I was already thinking this before I even read the end of this. I knew it. Awayuki is like, no one can touch her. No one. Awayuki grabbed my shoulder and pulled me back. Does Tabari wear gloves? Because didn't he say that commoners, or himself specifically, is not allowed to touch her with his bare hands? Huh? Sigh. Tsuyakusa's like, again? It'd be just a minute, man. Tsuyakusa was already onto him in the last episode. They stood there confused by what just happened. Tsuyakusa quietly stepped forward and shook Tabari's hand. I want to see your hands. Are you wearing gloves? It looks like he is. Looks like he has like forearm high gloves. Not forearm. I don't even know. It goes above his elbows. Tabari simply narrowed his eyes slightly, seemingly unbothered by what happened as he continued talking.
花町でも事件が発生したことはある。当時の状況をできるだけ調べさせた。
Funny. Awayuki didn't even say anything. He's just like, move aside. I noticed that the music is a little bit high. I think I will turn it down one notch. That's fine. See what happens. We'll see what it sounds like while I edit it.
花町の大通りでいきなり燃え始めたもんだから、現場は大混乱でな。顔役としちゃ迷惑極まりねえ。周りに火の手はなかったと聞くし、何かから引火したって線は薄い。他と同様、道を歩いていた男が突然燃え上がったと。
Who was he?
常連客でな。遊び方も綺麗だし、金払いも良かったから残念だ。うちにそいつを恨んでた奴はいねえだろ
う。じゃあ、少なくとも花町の人間が起こした事件じゃないって、帳は思っているのかな。
ああ、だからよその情報が欲しい。何かあったら共有してくれ。逆に、花町には貴族も多く出入りしてるし、橋町の噂なんかも俺の耳にはよく届く。関わりがありそうな話はお前らに提供する。こっちから約束できるのはこのくらいだな。
Awayuki. When I spoke his name, Awayuki nodded in understanding.
後で、うちの屋敷の場所を覚えさせた鳥を渡す。何かあれば使ってくれ。
まあ、じゃあ俺も。帳のつてはうまく利用させてもらいたいし。
早速こき使う気か？
Tabari smirked with annoyance but didn't show any animosity towards us or seemed like our enemy. Yay. Now we have a guy on the inside. After our talk, I saw it was completely dark outside as we stepped outside of Hanagetsu to leave.
姫さん、
Yes?
悪かったな。
Oh, he apologized. Tabari looked away awkwardly and continued.
花から貴族に話が通じると思っていなかったのもあるが、思い込みがあった。知らぬいについて探りを入れてるってことは、 火付けの件で来たんだろうと。
In response to Dabari's apology, I said, "It's okay, I wasn't bothered by it." First we'll say it's okay. No, it's okay. I was surprised, but Awayuki protected me. Although I wouldn't say it's alright if Awayuki had been injured.
そっちの兄ちゃんは怪我なんかしねえだろ。
At least he recognizes his skill. Huh? Dabari spoke in a tone that sounded like a combination of disbelief and admiration.
あれは、橋町のゴロつき風情にどうにかできる技量じゃねえよ。相当な手だれとでもやり合わねえ限り、かすり傷一つ負わねえだろ。
Awayuki's really that strong. My attendant really was amazing. Say, does that mean? I was just so happy that my attendant was being praised that I wanted to hear more, but...
姫。
Stop talking about me. With an annoyed look on his face, Awayuki cut me off.
知らぬいがうちの姫を襲ったことについては不愉快だし、今も腹渡が煮えくり返る思いなんだが。
Is he really that angry?
まあ、少なくとも帳に関して言えば、姫を害そうという意志は感じなかった。
I feel like we can go back up now, so let's go. I wasn't bothered by it. But I still don't think it was right. If we talked in the first place, your men might not have had to get hurt. You could have at least checked with us first to ask what we were investigating.
返す言葉もない。
Dabari didn't attempt to argue back and gallantly accepted my complaint against him.
頼りにしている奴からの報告だったんで、鵜呑みにして確認を怠った。俺の失態だ。
No, I can understand that. I'm sure I would believe any report from Awayuki right away. Perhaps it was a common concern for those who had people serving under them. You would want to believe in those you trust unconditionally, but every person was capable of making mistakes. I always thought of my attendant as perfect, but Awayuki does still make mistakes.
まあ、主人に信じてもらえるのは、従者冥利に尽きる話ではあるな。
I like that he was a little bit embarrassed by that.
姫の信頼を裏切らないよう、今後とも努めます。
Thank you, Awayuki. Even if Awayuki were to make a mistake, he would continue to be the person I trusted more than anyone else.
知らぬいがうちの姫を襲ったことについては不愉快だし、今も腹渡が煮えくり返る思いなんだが。
Is he really that angry?
まあ、少なくとも帳に関して言えば、姫を害そうという意志は感じなかった。さっき帳自身も言ってたように、あれは、この一件から手を引かせようっていう脅しのつもりだったんだろう。
It seemed true. As far as I could remember, the end of his gun never pointed directly at me.
女に怪我させるのは趣味じゃねえんだよ。
反大樹なんて思想を掲げているくせに、ガキみたいなことを言うんだな。
After Awayuki muttered his remark, Dabari made no effort to hide his frown.
誰がガキだって？お前、いくつだよ。
How old are you?
26。
26.
へえ。
お前は？
21。
Wow, you're young, Dabari.
うるせえな、ほっとけ。
いや、年齢を持ち出してきたのはお前だろ。ってとにかく話を戻すぞ。
Awayuki lowered his brow and spoke with a serious expression.
知らぬいの理念を肯定するつもりはないが、帳が嘘をついてないというのは理解してる。姫が手を組むと判断した以上、俺は従者として従う。仲良くやりたいわけじゃないが、まあ、そっちが裏切らないうちは味方だ。適当によろしく。
I guess. I agree. Let's do our best, Dabari.
たく、
Tabari's stern expression collapsed into a smile, making him look almost his actual age. Although there were some ups and downs, it seemed like everything was settled peacefully, but just then... Oh my goodness.
やあ、姫君。こんな遅くに何をしてるのかな
Oh no. Yori. To be seen with the leader of that group. You're in trouble now. A familiar voice had a stinking tone of disapproval to it. I know, right? I looked back, and sure enough, there was Lord Yori, or rather Yori. Beside him was his aide.
どうも。
Ajiro nervously gave a discreet wave to us. He must not have wanted to get caught in this conversation, as he quietly backed away from us. Bye.
宴席に付き合うって話、そろそろ考えてくれた？幻冬祭の間は催しが多いから、一度くらいは顔を出しておきたいんだよね。
I'm sorry, I'm not sure of my schedule yet.
あれ？こうして夜中に出歩くくらいには暇なんだと思ったけど。半月堂くんまでは多めに見てあげたけど、君はもう少し付き合う相手を選んだ方がいいね。
He's so annoying. Like, I liked him at first, but now he's so annoying. He turned his eyes scornful and full of malice towards Tabari.
君も君だ。もっと部をわきまえたら？花町の顔役ってだけで、僕たち貴族と肩を並べたつもり？君たちみたいな雑種は、あの吐きだめから出てくるべきじゃないんだよ。
I can't believe he just said that.
これは、お見汚し失礼しました。
Tabari gave a courteous apology, but his eyes gleamed with hostility. Even though there might be a difference in their birthright, what Yori was saying was just too much. Excuse me, Yori, but... Unable to stay silent, I was about to interject, but then...
申し訳ありません、より様。
I knew he was going to say something. For some reason, Awayuki bowed his head deeply.
姫の交友関係には何ら問題ありません。帳は自分の旧友です。
An old friend of his?
久しぶりに顔を合わせて話が弾み、軽率にも姫に紹介してしまい。
Awayuki?
それが事実なら、君はまた主人の顔に泥を塗ったんだ。この子は僕の婚約者になるかもしれないんだから、帳くんなんかと顔見知りになられると困るよ。
はい。本当に申し訳ありません。
Awayuki was apologizing for his mistress, for me. I wanted to speak up and say how Awayuki wasn't at fault, but that would ruin the efforts in trying to protect me.
従者なら役目くらいはきちんと果たしなよ。早く彼女に身の振り方を覚えさせて。恥をかくのは姫君なんだからね。従者の分際で主人と遊び歩く暇があるなら、他にやることがあるでしょ。
It was more painful to me for Awayuki to be told off than to be chastised myself. With each criticism thrown at him by Yori, an unpleasant sensation spread through my chest, and stayed there like a swamp rotting away within me. I know, I don't like him either. Awayuki, I'm sorry about earlier.
それはもう聞いた。姫、帰り道でも帰ってきてからもずっと言ってるな。
But felt I couldn't even apologize enough. While I was beyond grateful that he would sacrifice himself to save me, I felt so much regrets about how I handled it. It's getting harder to speak. It's only been 50 minutes. Hey Awayuki, I had a thought while listening to Tabari earlier. Do you think that Yori understands that Tabari knows everything that happens in the entertainment district?
ああ。
Do you think that he knows that the Shiranui is hiding out in the entertainment district?
たとえ証拠はないにしても、うすうすは察してるんじゃないか。
Awayuki had a stiff expression as if he were in a silent anger.
貴族の姫が何かを探りに花町まで来たとなれば、後ろ暗いところのある帳たちが警戒するのは当然だ。
I thought it was strange to be ordered to ask around for information without even being told what to look into, but it sounds like his true intention was to simply send us in to get the Shiranui to take action.
そうかもしれない。帳たちが尻尾を出すかどうか、探る気だったのかもな。どちらにしろ、貴族の姫に任せるようなことじゃない。
His frustration must have been growing as I heard a clear anger from his voice. After thinking for a moment, I spoke up again. He hasn't realized we're working with Tobari, right?
可能性の一つとしては思いつくかもな。けど確証はない。こっちが口を滑らせない限り問題はないと思う。まあ、今のところは。
We'll have to be careful. I felt a dread coming down from so many places. I couldn't help but let out a sigh. Awayuki narrowed his eyes somewhat.
大丈夫だ。お前には俺がついてる。何があっても必ず守るよ。
Well, I'm happy for that. But I don't really like it when you're blamed for things like today, Awayuki.
気にしなくていいんだけどな、そんなの。俺はお前の盾になれるなら本望だし。何かあればこうして気にかけてくれる。それが。
What is it? I asked for him to continue after he trailed off and Awayuki let out a smile.
十分すぎるほど報酬になる。
It might have been the perfect answer for an attendant to give, but don't say that. I hate it when you get hurt. I want you to care more about yourself, for me. Hey, Awayuki, are you listening? I grew a bit nervous at his silence and asked him to answer it back when he nodded at me with a smile.
ああ。姫のためなら仕方ない。善処する。
I wasn't sure if I was imagining it, but the expression on Awayuki's face looked a bit stiff as he answered back. As if he were lying to me. Aw. So you won't do everything for her. How dare you? I felt some distance from him ever since the talk about my engagement came up. And I felt that distance grew even greater after we ran into Yori the other day. On the surface, he seemed to be behaving just as normal. But there were times like this moment when he was brushing my hair that I tried to probe him. Hey, Awayuki, which hairpin should I use tonight?
何でも似合うだろ、お前は。
There's definitely something wrong. Awayuki would normally always say something like, how about the one with the pearl inlay? It matches your new earrings. Or, I remember you bought that one with the agate stone beads the other day, though the camelin pin would work too. If anything, he's more particular than I am and will sometimes even argue with me about it. As to why I was putting in the effort to get dressed up today. Oh? It was because only a few days before the Lantern Festival was to begin, I received an invitation from the family of the Second West. Second West. Is that Yori's family? Someone posted a comment to one of my videos, and there's one of the northern and one of the western, I think. I don't remember who's. Her uncle's from one and they're from the other. The uncle is from the northern second, and Yori's is the western second. Okay. So is she going to the dinner then? Oh, I guess if I just would have kept going, I would have known. It was a formal invitation from Yori to sit with him at a banquet. Now that an official invitation had been issued, there was no way I could decline it, being from a house of a lower status.
何でも似合うだろ、お前は。
I guess if I just would have kept going, I would have known. It was a formal invitation from Yori to sit with him at a banquet. Now that an official invitation had been issued, there was no way I could decline it, being from a house of a lower status. I decided to greet the public with him as his acquaintance at the banquet tonight. The people I met assumed we were associated because of a coming engagement, and there were many words of congratulations offered to us. That's why she didn't want to go, because she would have to say yes to the engagement if she went. I didn't know how to react, but I couldn't bring down the mood of the party. I kept up my smile, drank whatever drinks were offered to me, and did my best to fulfill my duty. Oh, we don't even get to...
今日はありがとう、姫君。帰っていいよ。
You can go home now. Like, he's dismissing her. You didn't even get to, like, interact in the party. That's what I was looking forward to. It's one of the things I was looking forward to. And then he just dismisses her. It's like, okay, bye. Right. I know, right? She knows it too. The banquet had ended. Yori happily entered a motor coach, leaving without looking back my way even once. He's so rude. Oh my goodness. I was able to keep myself focused up until I said my goodbyes to him. But the drink started to get to me, and I was at my limit. The moment I could no longer see Yori, the strength in my body left me.
姫
Huh? Awayuki, you came to pick me up. After that thought, my vision began to blur. He's going to catch her. I'm going to have a screenshot. Aww. Wait, I've seen this in somewhere. I don't remember where I've seen this. I have seen this from somewhere. I don't remember where. I might have got spoiled on it from the internet, but it's giving her a piggyback ride. Ugh. I felt the chilly night breeze disappear as I was surrounded by a comforting warmth. When my body seemed to tilt one way, it jerked back the opposite way.
こら、暴れるな。
I'm not thrashing. Not having the energy to argue, I clung to him as tightly as I could.
何杯飲んだんだ。無理しすぎだろ。
There we go. Yeah, full screenshot. My goodness. So pretty. I couldn't turn them down. Yori kept asking me to try more. I was certain now that he had done it on purpose. Even though he kept offering, I should have politely declined or avoided it. I knew I should have handled it better. Ugh. I could feel my eyes grow hot as I thought of how pathetic I was. How about Yuki, you dummy?
え、俺か
She's gonna be loose-lipped tonight, isn't she? You're being distant lately. Yep, she's gonna lash out at him now.
それは、俺にも考えがあってのことだ。
He didn't deny it.
俺はいつだって、お前のことを一番に考えて。
No, you told me you'd be with me forever. Aww. We're just gonna let him have it now that she's drunk. Gonna let him have it. This reminds me of Cupid Parasite. Whenever she got drunk off of chocolate, she just laid into Shelby. She was so upset with him. All of her feelings came out and he just kissed her right then. Told me you'd be with me forever.
いや、もちろんそれはそのつもりだし、そのためにいろいろ考えてるわけで。
Considering so many things. Oh? If you're worried about me, then stay by side.
姫が許してくれるなら、ぜひ。
Oh, if you'll allow me, then I will. Stay with her forever. That's why he didn't want to tell her about Yori, because of his promise to her, right? Really?
ああ。忘れないでくれ、ひなぎく。俺は、お前がいないと生きていけないよ。
I love that confession. That confession just melted my heart.
お前のことが何より大切だし、お前のためなら何でもできる。
He is so sweet.
お前は、俺にとって唯一無二の、特別な存在なんだよ。言葉で表せられないほど、俺は。
How about you? What? Oh no. No, she went to sleep. I bet you he would have confessed.
Oh.
If she was awake, he would have said it. I can't describe how much I love you, right? He's going to say it.
寝てるのかよ。あ も
He's so frustrated. I can feel it, man. I know. She just falls asleep on you. How dare she? You were confessing to her. It's so funny. This is chapter 3. He loves her in chapter 3, so I'm excited about the other 4. I wonder, I mean, she's not going to know to the very end, right? Because she fell asleep during his confession.
う。まったく。仕方ないやつだよ。お前は。
But he says that so endearingly. I love it. So cute. There's one more choice. One more choice. I was hoping this would be under an hour, but it's not. I woke up to the sound of the curtains being drawn. For some reason, my head hurt this morning, and I couldn't bring myself to sit up. What do you mean, for some reason? You forgot how much you drink.
ほら、姫。薬湯持ってきたから。
It's bitter.
まだ飲んでないだろ。
He just scolded you. I don't need to drink it, I just know. I languidly pulled my body up and held the cup. I took a sip, and sure enough, it was bitter. I left the banquet with Yori. But how did I get back home?
何も覚えてないんだな、やっぱり。俺が背負って帰ってきたんだよ。
I hate that so much. You tell a person something, you confess to them how much they mean to you, and they're going to forget it. It's my biggest pet peeve in Atomi games when they forget the confession. They're going to go this whole time thinking that they're still distant, that he's still distant, doesn't know why. Ugh. Huh? Oh, I see. Thanks, Awayuki. I know. Like, oh my goodness. Awayuki. I looked at Awayuki, who had gone silent, to see a very sunken look on his face.
問題は酔いつぶれたことだ。自分の狩猟くらい把握しとけって言ったのに。
He's gonna pretend like he didn't say any of it now. I thought I could manage. I was fine when I tried some before.
家で飲むのと外で飲むのはまた別だろ？緊張のせいで酔いの回りが早かったのかもしれないし、今後は気をつけるように。付き合いで断れなかったのは分かってるけど、酔っ払って醜態さらす方がまずいんだからな。
Right. Being lectured right now after I woke up with a migraine on top of that was pretty rough. But for a moment, I felt a little bit as if we were close to as we always were. Switching? Oh? Who? Yori? Who are you?
妻子のですが、それではあの方の顔に泥を塗ることに。
I would stain his reputation.
身勝手にも矜持を辞したあの男のことは、俺も許せないと思ってます。
I don't think he should have let others get close to him either. Who are you talking about?
わかりました。大樹様のご意向のために。
Whoever he's talking to is not talking back. No, dang it. A few days had passed. All the secrets. All the stuff that we're going to get to say and never remember till the very end. Although the distance between Awayuki and myself closed a little bit, I felt there was still much distance between us. I did want to know how he felt, but I was afraid of what he might say, so today was another day I left unaddressed. I don't want to keep complaining about this, I just know it. It's so frustrating. Giving up, I tried to steer the conversation in another direction. Say, Awayuki, about today. Today was the 6th day of the Lantern Festival. Each year, if we had no other appointments, I would go out with Awayuki on this day, but it's still a bit dangerous in town. Shouldn't go out tonight, right?
まあ、そうだな。昼ならいいんじゃないか？人体発火事件も、幻冬祭が始まってからは落ち着いてるようだし。
That's true. By some coincidence, the incident stopped completely a few days ago.
姫さえ良ければ、露草様や社あたりを誘って行ってきたらどうだ？
Why would you not go with her? Why? Huh? What about you, Awayuki?
俺は忙しい。最近お前と出かけてた分、いろいろやることが溜まってるんだ。
And now he's going to avoid her. Great. It's like all of my it's like all of my most hated things are just all on this route. There's well, it's not really a misunderstanding. That was in Cupid Parasite. The thing with Shelby was a misunderstanding. It drove me nuts too. He confessed to her, she doesn't remember, they're going to act like they normally did, and now he's avoiding her. It's so annoying.
明るいうちなら保護者同伴じゃなくても大丈夫だろ。
I know, she just wants to go with you. I was at a loss for how to reply to Awayuki's murmured remark. Once he finished tying up my hair, he said nothing more and quickly exited the room. It really does still feel like he's putting distance between us. So frustrated. I have no idea. He said, if you'll allow me, he would love to stay by your side, but because she doesn't remember this, he's going to pretend like he's going to put distance between them. She admitted to you, yes, she was drunk, that she wants you to stay and fulfill your promise. Does he not believe her because she was drunk? Or he's doing this for her, quote, for her, right? Anyway. There was no danger in going out alone on the 6th night of the Lantern Festival, but being the overprotective guardian he was, Awayuki had always made sure I was within his line of sight. After letting out a big sigh, I gazed at myself in the mirror and made a decision. I don't want to let Awayuki go. Good. Jeez, someone needs to be assertive here. I'll try and invite him out to go to the Lantern Festival again. We need my last choice, like in the recording.
急ぎの確認が必要なものはこれで全部だな。お疲れ、姫。
Thanks. You know, Awayuki. I took a deep breath and spoke. I know you're busy, but the Lantern Festival only happens once a year. Won't you consider going out with me? If there's anything I can do to help you with your workload, I'll do it. Maybe then you can get a little bit of time to...
姫に手伝ってもらうことはない。あったとしても頼まない。おかしいだろ。主人に自分の仕事させる従者なんて。
You're ignoring the issue here. After his jab at me, he stood and began to head out of his study. Don't do it. Don't give up. What should I do? Maybe I should give up, but don't do it. I didn't know when it was appropriate to back down since the distance between us was now different than normal. I was conflicted, not knowing if it was alright to treat him like I always did. That feeling lasted for only a moment. If Awayuki is going to keep putting distance between us, then I have to be the one to close that gap. Good. Yay! It's not going to be like these other passive MCs that just accept it. After making my decision, I grabbed onto his arm like I always had before. There's another CG? Oh my goodness. Oh man, she really held on. Gasp. I want to be with you, Awayuki. I was ready to throw a tantrum if need be, determined not to let go until he agreed. Good. Go get him. Yes. I take back all of my belly aching if she's going to actually go for it. Please, just for a bit, to walk around the square once. Come on, that would be fine, right? Do it. You know you love her. Awayuki looked surprised at first, but quickly regained his composure.
ダメだ。
Yes. You are not allowed to say no.
お前も、もう立派な大人なんだから。こういう子供じみた真似はやめろ。
Why is he doing this? Why? Why you admitted everything to her last night? His voice was cold and distant, even irritated. I thought I had such a firm grip on him. Awayuki easily peeled me off of him and quickly left his room. Man, why? Why is he actively pushing her away? Something snapped in him last night. I don't know. Now all alone, I couldn't believe what had just happened. There were times in the past when I might have declined Awayuki's invitations out, but whenever I asked him, he always joined me no matter what. I had no idea why he was acting so odd.
恥をかくのは姫君なんだからね。従者の分際で主人と遊び歩く暇があるなら、他にやることがあるでしょ?
Maybe he doesn't want to be seen in public with her anymore? Like, it's a lantern festival, so it's a big deal, right? There was no way he didn't think anything of Yori's repeated criticisms of him. Awayuki must want me to become less dependent on having an attendant. A part of me wished this was just some fight we were having, but I would just apologize and we'd be on good terms right away. This isn't a problem that can be overcome through just an apology, but I felt moving forward in this state wasn't right either, most of all. I hated the idea that this might be my relationship with Awayuki from now on. I know, it breaks my heart too. All that having been said, how long is this going to go? What should I do? Did you actually go to him for your love advice? All of them. Okay. The looks they gave me seemed somewhat awkward. I had come here with the idea of talking with Tsuyakusa and Yoshida about what was going on, but today at Hanagetsu, Tabari was present for some reason in addition to the other two.
そんなこと言われてもかな。
姫さんっていつもこんな感じか？
いや、もっと落ち着いてることあるし。それに、ほら、なんていうか。こういうのも、俺は可愛いと思う。ひなぎくらしさっていうか。
He said it's cute.
お前、女に振り回されたいたちか。難儀だな。
That'll be a rough life. Seeing Tabari look at him with pitying eyes that asked the question I had on my mind. What are you doing here at Hanagetsu, Tabari? Have you gotten any new information? Throughout the Lantern Festival, Tsuyakusa and Tabari had been sending each other messages via messenger bird.
残念だが、特にめぼしい話はねえな。今日は仲町の様子を見て回るついでに立ち寄っただけだ。
こっちも進展なし。最近幸か不幸か、例の事件も起きてないしね。
I see.
それと、露草と帳は気が合うみたいで、ずいぶん仲良くなったよ。
Really, now that you mention it. As I nodded, I saw both Tabari and Tsuyakusa grimacing.
あ？
え？どこが？
They really look like kindred spirits, don't they?
いや、気のせいでしょ。
一朝一夕でそう仲良くならねえよ。
Are they sure about that? I glanced over at Yoshida, who had a grin on his face.
帳はからくりに興味があるみたいで、来るたび露草にいろいろ聞いているよ。
いや、からくりが嫌いな奴はいねえだろ。
同感。
そういえば露草、帳が珍しいパーツを見つけてきてくれて、大喜びしていたよね。
We're gonna poke more fun at him.
そりゃ喜ぶでしょ、普通。
That was the most adorable line I've ever heard him say. I guess they really do get along.
それより、姫さん。
Brian looked a bit stiff as he changed the direction of the conversation.
お前がどうするか相談に乗るってのもやぶさかじゃねえんだが。その前に、ちょいと聞きたいことがある。いいか？
No, what is it?
Oh.
I have a hard time speaking these lines. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with there's a lot of Japanese names in it, and it's worded in a way that I don't think, like, English speaking people would word it. So it trips me up a lot. Bry seemed to hesitate as if thinking over if it was thinking over if it was something all right to ask. Like, we wouldn't word it like that, so me trying to read it like that, it makes me stop and pause. Bry seemed to hesitate as if thinking over it was something all right to ask as he looked over at Tsuyakusa and Yashiro. And it feels like a run-on sentence too.
こないだ黒鶴に会ったよな。ここから出た時にちょうど。
Yes.
その時に黒鶴のヨリが姫さんとの関係について。
Didn't he mention the engagement? Relationship. Oh, you mean our engagement.
婚約
Did you not know? The Yakuza face I have never heard from him before. I suddenly understood the situation. I know. That was a very, very obnoxious sound, wasn't it? Oh, right. I didn't tell any of you. I've been asked by Yori to be his fiancé.
そうなんだ。ということは姫様って、今まで婚約者はいなかったの？
Yes, it's a bit unusual, isn't it?
うん。姫様はかなりいい家のご当主様でしょ？本来ならすぐにでも身を固めないといけないよね。親兄弟がいないなら、なおさら早く子供をって、周りにせかされる立場なんじゃない？少なくとも。
It seemed he was about to say that was the case where he was from, but stopped himself and simply gave an awkward smile. You're right, Yashiro. I imagine in that sense there weren't much difference between Itehari and Genwan for families of this sort of position.
いや、そうなんだけど。確かにひなぎくの年齢を考えると遅すぎるくらいなんだけど。だからって急すぎない？
He is not okay with this.
ねえ、つゆくさ。それは矛盾していない？遅すぎるくらいなんだから、急なことはないよ。
そうなんだけどさ。
Tsuyakusa seemed to be worrying for me as if it were his own problem.
俺が口を出すような問題じゃねえのは100も承知なんだが、姫さん、本当にヨリでいいのか？
I'm not sure you know this already, but be careful not to refer to him so casually in public, okay?
心配してくれてどうも。いや、今心配してんのは俺の方なんだが。機関兵も花町で遊ぶからな。酒の席での噂なんてのも俺の耳には入ってくる。
Oh, do you have some information about Yori? About Yori? Like what? I asked him to continue, half curious, half nervous.
家柄もよく本人も優秀。あの年じゃ結構な出世頭らしい。だがまあ評判はよくねえ。
Do you mean there are people who are dissatisfied with Yori even within the Kurozuru? Bry answered me with a slight nod.
一番多いのは下の連中の扱いだな。倒れるまでこき使うだのなんだのって。平然とむごい指令を出すって話だ。
But all that may be necessary as part of the job of being a Kurozuru.
あとはそうだな。自分の決定に逆らうことを許さない。怒らせると何をするかわからねえとか。過去に何度か派手にやらかしてるって、その筋じゃ悪い意味で有名だ。
It makes him sound like a pretty terrible person then, right? Bry looked at me with a seriousness in his eyes and quietly continued.
本来、宴席での話なら、尾ひれがついてる可能性も高いんだが、俺の主観としても、あの男が見た目通り他人に優しく見えた試しはねえな。
Yeah, no, he's definitely not nice to others.
結婚相手としては不安がある情報だね。姫様、 本当に彼と婚約するの？
When Yashiro asked this question, I said, finally, my goodness, I don't want to, but let's see, he may be misunderstood. We're gonna defend him for like a second. The rumors about him may not necessarily be true. There might be some misunderstandings that are going on.
火のないところに煙は立たないじゃん。花町の顔役が仕入れてきた話なら、ただの噂話よりずっと信憑性がある。それに、帳がこの件であんたに嘘をつく理由もないよね。だから。
この話を伝えたのは、姫さんに義理があるからだ。どう受け取るかは好きにしてくれ。
I closed my eyes and mumbled, whatever the case, I can't turn him down. Yori's family status was higher than my own. If I were to decline without a proper reason, it would cause trouble for my family. Alright, go back up. Alright, I don't want to, but... I don't want to, but... That was what I truly felt. Only in this moment I was able to express my honest feelings, as none of the men here had any similar obligations to family. Honestly, I've never even really thought much about marrying. I had always known that I would need to because of my obligations as head of house, but I could never imagine myself getting along with Yori and maybe getting with Awayuki.
本音を言えば、俺はこの縁談に反対したいと思ってる。あの人はちょっと難のある男だし。
I wonder if Awayuki's been taken advantage of by him too. Yori might be even more problematic of a person than I imagined. I felt utter dread coming over me after that thought. But... I closed my eyes and mumbled, whatever the case, I can't turn him down. Alright, let's go back. Go to the next part. Itehari was an incredible self-maintained society with its many rules. It provided plenty for the lives of its citizens, but within it, it was inexcusable for someone of lower standing to defy higher than themselves, and doing so would be an act that disturbed the order. At the worst, the fifth family would be dissolved and I would be spirited away. That's pretty bad. I'm anxious of having to be married. I was honestly very anxious, and I knew I would have many difficult times. But Awayuki will be with me, so I'm sure I can get through it. I will. I don't think so. I think when she married Yori, he's probably going to dismiss him. That's my opinion. I tried to cheer myself up as Yoshiro tilted his head at me.
結婚しても、淡雪は姫様の従者でいられるんだ。
Yeah, I know. I don't think so. Well, Yori would be married into my family, and Awayuki's always been my attendant, so...
いや、Hinagiku.
Actually... Tsukusa shook his head with a pensive expression.
あんたの婿が嫌だって言ったら、淡雪は追い出されるかもでしょ。
I knew it. Huh?
まあ、その辺は向こう次第だが。例えば、異性の従者を妻のそばに置いておくのは気が進まないって言ってきたら、どうすんだよ。
Yori would be married into my family, but behind him still stands the influence of the Western Second. There was no way for me to refuse his will. I won't be able to be with Awayuki. I don't want that, no.
気づいていなかったんだ。
そもそも、姫さんとあの兄ちゃんはどういう間柄なんだよ。
Oh, he's questioning it too.
ただの従者にしちゃ、随分と大事にしているようだが。
Awayuki and I are... Now that I was asked out loud, I found I couldn't answer with a single word. The roles of master and attendant would be accurate to explain our relationship. But to explain everything we built up between us with that one description was simply impossible. He's someone who's been with me ever since I was little, I suppose. That's why Awayuki is special to me.
姫様は大変だね。
Huh?
だって、特別大事な人がいるのに、このまま結婚したら、その人とお別れしなくちゃいけないかもしれないんだろ？
I looked down, unable to find a way to answer him when Suyakusa let out an annoyed sigh.
さ、ひなぎくはいつも淡雪の言うこと聞かずに出歩くし、好き勝手やってるじゃん。なのになんでこんな時だけいい子になろうとすんの？
Huh?
価格が上の家からの申し出だからって、そんなのがあんたのしたいことを我慢する理由になる？
いや、なるだろ。何言ってんだ。
あれ？帳は断った方がいいって論調じゃなかった？
そうなんだが、今回断ったとして、じゃあ次はどうすんだよ。淡雪を受け入れてくれる婚約者でも探すか。
The only way to solve this is to just marry him, right? After the men had their say, I had a chance to think over what I was feeling. It was then I was able to put into words the one thing I couldn't compromise on. I want to be with Awayuki forever. If that can't happen when I'm to be married, then I don't want to get married. Because...
確かに、俺はお前がいないとダメだよ。だから、これからも好きに使ってくれ。俺は、お前のものなんだから。
I kind of figured that was his one day to genuinely be with her and be himself before he ultimately had to push her away. For her own good. He saves me when I'm in danger. He spoils me. He knows everything there is to know about me. Because he was special to me. Because I love him. He's like, finally, you said it. You do.
ずいぶん惚れ込んでいるようだが、姫さん、覚悟はできてんのか？
At least she admits it, but she already knew. And I think Oyuki knows too. That's why he's trying super hard.
あいつは平民だろ。お前とは身分が違う。
Nobles and commoners can't be married is strictly forbidden in Itehari's laws. Those of noble birth and common birth who were found to be in a relationship would be spirited away. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll think about it. Awayuki and I are on different social standings, so I never thought of him that way.
考えてみなよ、いろいろ。
露草って意外といいやつだし、意外と自分で墓穴を掘る性分だよね。
You dig your own grave. It's Yakuza in love with her and everyone else's route too.
ヤシロは人の良さそうな顔して、積極的に地雷踏んでくるじゃん？
そんなつもりはなかったんだけど、やっぱり記憶喪失なのかな、俺。
I think I love Awayuki. My heart was racing as I finally realized these pure and simple feelings within me. Yay. Next chapter. Chapter 4. Floating bubbles, huh? I was thinking in the last episode that it was like, I forgot what the name of the chapter was already. Moon something or other, Under the Moon. I'm like, that's going to have a nice CG with it. And yeah, him giving her a piggyback ride was a nice CG. Although, do I want to do the one of him giving her a piggyback ride or where she's desperately grabbing onto him, making him stay? Probably the piggyback ride. I've noticed though, with all these shots, maybe not all of them, because I think the one with the rain was straight. But all of the shots, I forgot what they called it. I was in media arts and animation, where they tilt the angle, they tilt the camera diagonal. I forgot what shot that's called, but it makes it more dramatic. And I've noticed that there's a lot of dramatic shots in here with that angle. And it's not supposed to be overused, because if it is, then it defeats the purpose of making it feel dramatic, right? But I guess if you use one for every chapter, maybe it's okay. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, that was a little tangent there. But yeah, I'm not going to complain anymore about their dynamic, because I've already complained enough. And I probably added like 10 minutes onto my video because of my complaining. But I really don't like it. Anyway, that's the end of chapter 3. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.